Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Patreon podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about being smart versus being clever. This was kind of spurred by my buddy Shaka sending me some squirrel videos about how they overcome obstacles trying to get to food. And I feel like squirrels are not smart creatures, but they're very clever. And I wanted to kind of expand on that and why that's valuable for being a creative person as well. Primarily, being clever means that you can approach the same problem from multiple different ways. And I think that that is something that is incredibly valuable as a creator, both for like an actual artistic creation standpoint, but also from a business standpoint, where if you run into a problem while making a song or doing a video or making a painting, having the knowledge and kind of the inner strength to scrap what you're working on and start over from a different direction is really valuable, because there are definitely times where you just can't move forward with a particular idea the way that you started it, and you need to kind of scrap it and start over. And there's actually a topic that I wanted to talk about just scrapping things and starting over in a future episode. Excuse me. But I think just having that strength and that knowledge to scrap things and start over, or to just like take a step back and realize that what you're doing isn't the way that you want to do it. So you need to basically kind of reconfigure your brain into another kind of approach for a problem. And from a business perspective, being clever is very useful because it gives you that opportunity to understand that you're not going to be doing that same thing forever. You're going to be doing a lot of different things over the course of your career. And I think that it's important to understand that, because you don't really want to, you don't want to do the same thing for 40 years. I mean, maybe you do. Like, I can't say that for people, but like, I fully believe that, 5 or 10 years from now, my creative output is going to look very different than it does right now, just like it did from 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, I was making like an album every couple of years. I wasn't doing any commission stuff. I was mostly working on like web design, and, over the past 6 or 7 years, that transitioned heavily into music production, game development, and I feel that 10 years from now, that might be even more leaning on the game development part, because that engages the music production part of things, but it also gives me the opportunity to try new things, explore new spaces, and excuse me, see where things go from there. So the idea of being clever is really valuable as a creative person, because as pretty much everybody knows, being a creative person is nothing but obstacles, and finding ways around those obstacles and finding ways to overcome those despite the odds, or despite just not having a solid roadmap, is really important. Like this journey as a creative person is fraught with I wouldn't say danger as much of just problems. There's always something that crops up that you need to figure out and overcome and persevere through. And there's just, you got to just keep trucking. So I think that's pretty much it for this episode. Sorry, it was a little rambly. I just kind of woke up recently. So, and I wanted to get that out there as soon as possible, because that was something that was bouncing around in my mind and I haven't written it down yet. So, yeah, thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you in the next one. Be remarkable.